So I wanted to share a revelation of just realization and a moment of encouragement. So many times we, as women, allow stuff or deal with stuff because we don't recognize our value of who we really are. And it took years. It took a very long time. Actually, it took most of my life to get to this point of no longer desiring the applause of people, no longer desiring the actual, I guess, the actual affirmation and acceptance of someone telling me I was great. As I step back today, I realized most of my life I have lived for people. I have lived to uphold an image. I have lived to prove a point. I have lived to prove to people that Shakia is great enough. And that took me through some crazy stuff. I got married because I didn't want people to realize that I had a baby out of wedlock. I have fought to be great because I had a child at 17 and been in school most of my life, actually going after my doctoral to prove to people that I'm not just a statistic. I have started businesses. I have worked my butt off all this way and all of this point to prove to people the significance, that's my nose ring, of who I am. And I realized today that I'm great as is. I am who I am, and that makes me amazing. The value that I carry, the greatness that I carry, the priceless tag that I have on my life has nothing to do with what people feel about me. I was raised in church. I was raised in understanding the values of Christ, but I didn't understand why he was important. And at the age of 35, I realized why he's important. He has kept me. I literally have not understood life. I wanted to take my life a couple of times. I went through depression. I allowed so many negative things to truly happen to me because of not understanding the value and not really knowing what God's purpose was in my life. And I finally figured it out. He has given everyone a purpose and a destiny in life, and so many of us leave this earth without understanding that because we don't take the time to stop pleasing people, and we don't take the time to recognize who we really need to please. And today, or this week, this month, the last couple of years have been so challenging to the point where I have gotten walked on, stepped on, stabbed in the back, went through a divorce, lost people that I felt was the world to me. And I didn't know how to handle that, because once what you portray to the world is taken away from you, then you have to really figure out who you are. So I was forced in a situation of figuring out who I truly am. And that's hard. That is lonely. It's frustrating. It is heartbreaking when you really sit and you look at yourself and you be like, wow, who am I? And I was a person, I was hurtful. I was angry. I was bitter. I was mean. I wanted success so bad that I was willing to cut people off to get to the top, just to prove to people that I'm great enough and I'm good enough. And that blows my mind to realize that everything I've done up to this point was to prove to people that don't give a damn about me, that when I come in a room, talk about me. When I leave out the room, talk about me, who judges and knows nothing about my life, versus pleasing the people that, or one, God, who has always loved me, or being a mother to the children who's always supported me, or catering and building relationships for people who've loved me as me. And going back to the point of doing the video, I just know there's so many women like me who holds this silent frustration because we have to be the world to people. We have to prove so much value to people, to men, that we're great enough that we forget who we are. And I wanted this video to be a reminder, especially around this time. I didn't even realize Valentine's was tomorrow, but around this time of the year where we are working so hard to please people, that you forget to recognize who you are. You forget to take the time to say, what do I like? What value do I bring to the table? What makes me unique? What's my purpose? What's my greatness? And when you realize that you bring so much to the room, that you bring so much solace to the world, that pleasing people no longer becomes important. Trying to prove to people who you are no longer becomes important. You will stop questioning everything, honestly, and you will start expecting what it is that you should have. I don't know. Today, this week has blown my mind, and I have been forced to walk into my humility. I have been forced to be so humble when I wanted to be angry, when I wanted to hate, when I wanted to seek vengeance upon the hurt that people have placed upon me. I was forced to be quiet. I was forced to forgive. That's a hard one. I was forced to love in spite of. And what I recognize today is that it made me a better person. It made me a greater person. And no one is worth the energy of hating. No one is worth the energy of not forgiving. No one is worth the energy of taking away any piece of who I am. And I just want to share that. Don't give people pieces of you who don't deserve it. Forgive, let go, move forward. Be successful because you want to be successful. Go after what you want because it's what you want. But no longer live your life trying to prove your value to people. If you have to prove value, then that's not for you. That's not of God. That's not the purpose He has for you. And I know the video is long and I got emotional, but I honestly felt the need to share that. And if it helps one person, I'm okay with that, because today you need to live in the greatness of who you are. And if you needed the reminder of you owe no one nothing, but you owe yourself everything, then that's what I hope you get from this video. Live your truth. Live and love who you are as a person. And don't give no more pieces of yourself to anybody that don't deserve it. Don't try to prove who you are. Don't try to gain the acceptance of man. But make sure you please God. Make sure you're happy with yourself. And who and what is for you will be for you. Work for you. Love you. Get healthy. Get fly. Get sexy. If you want to go out, go out. If you want to travel, travel. Don't wait for people. In the year of 2020, live your true self. Take the mask off. I lived with a mask for 35 years, and that's a hard life, right? To live in a space and you don't know who you are. That is a frustrating life. Don't live with the mask this year. Take it off and be your true self. Be okay with yourself, without the makeup, without the weave, without the car, the house, the clothes. Be happy with who you are, because you're enough and you're worth it. We are worth it. I'm worth it. And I really hope this encouraged somebody. I love you. I love all of you. And have a great day.